Hi everybody and welcome to a new episode. In this one we're going to be moving the dark side competition further on into a very exciting new stage. So I'm here today with Rob Moon, who's the creator of this incredibly exciting project, and we're going to hear a little bit about it with Rob.
So we launched the design competition a couple of months ago. We had fantastic traction and hundreds of entries from all over the world, and we're here today to analyse 3 designs that we believe are the most immersive, the most engaging and the most exciting from everyone that we've received.
But before we get to those 3 finalists, we're going to highlight 2 submissions that really deserve an honourable mention.
So the first of our honourable mentions is from Min Jung of Seoul, South Korea. Min's put together an astonishing submission with a level of detail that is an order of magnitude above everyone else. His 90-page presentation went to astonishing depths and really explored his passion for design and the journey that he took us on to derive his final concepts.
A beautiful piece, a beautiful submission, a little bit on the conservative side. Total respect, for doing such an incredible design job, and again, respect for putting that much passion into your work.
Whilst Min's design played it safe, our second honourable mention pushed the boundaries just a little bit too far.
And it was submitted from Lucas Hernan Lopez de Argentina. Lucas's design was a little bit too advanced, I think, for what we were looking at. Probably not feasible, even if we toned it back a little bit. So in that sense, although spectacular on paper, a little bit too difficult to actually make it into production. So we had to reel it back to making something that perhaps didn't exaggerate as much as Lucas's design proposal did. And now to the final 3. And the first of the 3 finalists is Jonathan from St. Louis, Missouri.
So when Jonathan's design first landed, it immediately captivated us. It's got beautiful curves, it's well proportioned, it's got a look and a feel about it that sets it aside from everyone else, and it also critically feels like it's achievable.
Yeah, I have to repeat that in the sense that it does have its own unique look, it has its own personality, it pushes the boundaries of what we would expect a car like this to be, so that is challenging from an engineering point of view. And it adds that element of wow that we always try to achieve as designers. However, there are a few elements on Jonathan's design that we need to address to achieve that level of feasibility, as we call it. And we have spoken with Jonathan today to address those issues. Congratulations on being in the top 3. Jonathan, can I ask you what was your approach? What was that first moment like when you started thinking about it?
When I first saw it as a 3-wheeler, and I immediately thought of the UK obviously has a massive cottage industry. I saw that fat rear tire, and I'm like, okay, these guys are serious. If they're putting a tire that fat and it's going to have this ridiculous power to weight ratio, we can do something with the aero that really defines what dark side can be.
Makes a lot of sense to me to hear it like that. I love seeing beautiful mechanical elements on the design, and much like exposing the front shock absorbers over the cowl, would you consider showing more of that Suzuki Hayabusa engine that's turbocharged in the back?
I love the Japanese and the Italian superbike engines, and I didn't realize it was turbocharged.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. Another thing, Jonathan, when we work backwards, you've got this interesting spoiler. It's kind of like an Starfighter.
X-Wing?
X-Wing, yeah.
Yeah. How would you approach making that look a little bit more integrated, improve the integration?
I'm not good with words.
So the original concept was like a rough sketch on a previous page. It looked much more like a traditional F3 car, Williams FW14 era, sort of, Senna era sort of Formula One.
The minute this one landed in my inbox, Jonathan, it totally captivated me. I love the presentation, the thought process you've gone through in laying out your concept here. A thank you, I guess, is what I'm trying to arrive at here from me personally for taking the time to construct such a well thought out initial submission.
Can you have it ready by tomorrow?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Right, no problem. I'll fly it over.
Okay, let's put some pressure on it. We'll call you back in a couple hours.
Jonathan, absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very, very much for your design. Really excited to see what comes next.
Pleasure talking to both of you. Have a great rest of your evening.
And now moving on to the second of our 3 finalists, we have James from Cornwall in the UK.
So James's design was unlike anything else we received. It seems to combine science fiction with nature and executes a really fantastic futuristic vision for the dark side, which was poles apart from other competitors.
I totally agree. James has managed to capture something that looks fresh, modern, organic, and mechanical at the same time. So it's a real fresh approach to design, I think.
We spoke to James earlier today to understand his thought process and to interrogate his design to see how we can push it to the next level.
So I'm James Russell Owen, and I've actually just turned 30, currently living in Cornwall.
James, can you tell a little bit about your approach when you started to think, I'm going to get involved with this project?
I think it was a space shuttle that I first seen, and they have like quite a pure shape, and then I actually literally overlaid a space shuttle onto the plan view of your package, and that shape was actually almost working with it, which is when I sort of found this image of a shark.
We had literally hundreds of entries, and each one of those presented, in some cases, tens of images and views. And of all of those, probably the single image that most captivated me was that rear view of your design that absolutely encapsulates the kind of shark ray kind of angular philosophy perfectly. And I think that's an awesome spectacle.
I like the fact that you're showing a lot of the mechanical elements of the vehicle, especially on the front where you start with the suspension units right in front on the cowl. On the rear, it's almost, did you plan on not putting an element over the snorkel area?
If you put it on the outside, I felt that it sort of drew your eye upwards too much, and I was reading it like as too heavy a volume on the top. Mm-hmm. So I kind of kept it underneath and sort of maintained the visible chassis there.
For me at the moment it looks unfinished, almost like that panel was removed and wasn't put back on.
So this kind of fuselage panel that sits over the main frame, I'd like to think that there's an intelligent approach to sort of breaking that up that works with the design in a complementary manner, but also allows us to deliver your vision in a constructive method.
Don't worry, James, if you put split lines on there and we choose your design and we don't think the split line looks good, we'll change it.
Thank God.
Good.
Excellent. Okay. Thanks very much, James. Have a wonderful evening. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And our third and final finalist is Abuzar from Pune, India.
Abuzar's design seems almost otherworldly. It has angular lines and a purposeful stance that give it a sporty feel and a real lightweight texture.
Yeah, and I'd have to add it looks incredibly dynamic just standing there. As we typically say as designers, it looks like it's moving while it's standing still. That's a little bit of the influence of the 5th or 6th generation fighter planes that I think he's taken. And at the same time, it would not look out of place in a futuristic video game. And for that reason, I would definitely love to drive this car.
According to Abuzar's entry form, he put this design together in just 48 hours, which is amazing. We spoke to Abuzar earlier today to download our thoughts and set him the challenge of pushing this design to the next level. First off, thank you very, very much for your proposal. I think it's clearly one of the best that we've received.
What were your first thoughts about how you would approach this from a design point of view to make yours unique?
What I came up with was passion, precision, and performance. So these were the 3 strong keywords, and also I looked at the right images that could, bring in the mood or try and aid me into the right direction.
I really like the light signature that you've got at the moment, Abuzar. I think that's a real selling point. It gives it an identity, and particularly when combined with that plan view, it kind of reminds me of almost like a Star Wars kind of pod racer type thing. I think you've got a really, really fantastic feel to it.
I see a very aggressive lobster.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one other thing, Abuzar, that I would recommend, and I always do this because young designers tend to think that it's less important, but it's the shoes of the car that are sometimes make the vehicle. If you know what I mean, you can wear anything, and if you have nice shoes, you are well dressed. If you don't have nice shoes, it doesn't matter what suit you're wearing, it doesn't look good. So the one you have on there is a little bit too normal. It's like cut and paste, and there's no real design thinking.
Yes.
But it's an opportunity for you to design a wheel, that goes very closely with the design of the vehicle that you did. So you have a very similar feeling between the wheel relationship and the body relationship.
Abuzar, I think it's been a real pleasure talking to you. It certainly won't be the last time. I just want to say again, thank you very, very much for your efforts in supporting the competition so far. Really, really impressed with your design.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Frank. It's a great opportunity.
Thank you, Abuzar, for your passion, your precision, and your performance.
Abuzar, thank you very much. We'll leave it there. Thank you.
And there you have it. Those are our 3 finalists. Congratulations to you. Rob and I would like to give our most sincere thanks to everybody who participated in this competition. We received hundreds and hundreds of entries from all over the world.
I've been blown away by the popularity of this competition, and the standard of design has been really, really high. So thank you so much to everyone that's submitted a design. Now is when the fun really begins. We've given each of these 3 finalists the task of going away to revise their design in a really compressed timescale to accommodate the feedback that we've given them.
And it will be one of these refined designs that becomes the dark side. As always, we'd love to see your comments, so please do leave them below and let us know which design and why you would choose it if you were in our position. Thanks very much for watching, and see you in the next episode.